VDRL, Venereal Disease Research Laboratory test, is a slide flocculation test employed in the diagnosis of syphilis. Since the antigen used in this test is cardiolipin, which is a lipidol extracted from beef heart, it is not a specific test. The antibodies reacting with cardiolipin antibodies have been traditionally termed as renal. Patients suffering from syphilis produce antibodies that react with cardiolipin antigen in a slide flocculation test, which are read using a microscope. It is not known if the antibodies that react with cardiolipin are produced against some lipid component of Troponema pallidum or as a result of tissue injury following infection. Patient serum water bath, freshly prepared cardiolipin antigen, VDRL slide, mechanical rotator, pipettes, hypodermic syringe with unbeveled needle and microscope are required. Non-reactive and non-reactive serum controls are also required. VDRL antigen, the cardiolipin antigen, is an alcoholic solution composed of 0.03% cardiolipin, 0.21% lecithin and 0.9% cholesterol. The cardiolipin antigen must be freshly constituted each day of test. The working antigen is a buffered saline suspension of cardiolipin. VDRL slide. This is a glass slide measuring 2 to 3 inch with 12 concave depressions, each measuring 16 mm in diameter and 1.75 mm deep. So this is the VDRL flocculation test slide. Patient serum is inactivated by heating at 56 degrees for 30 minutes in a water bath to remove non-specific inhibitors such as complement. Now the test can be performed both qualitatively and quantitatively. Those tests that are reactive by qualitative test are subjected to quantitative test to determine the antibody titers. 0.5 ml of inactivated serum is taken into one well. 1/60th ml of the cardiolipin antigen is then added with the help of a syringe to the well and rotated at 180 rpm for 4 minutes. And every test must be accompanied with non-reactive and non-reactive controls. The slide is then viewed under low power objective of a microscope for flocculation. The reactive and non-reactive controls are looked first to verify the quality of the antigen. Depending on the size, the results are graded as weakly reactive or reactive W or R. Reactive samples are then subjected to quantitative test. Quantitative test, this is performed to determine the antibody titer. The serum is doubly diluted in saline from 1 to 256 or more. 0.05 ml of each dilution is taken in the well and 1/60 ml of antigen is added to each dilution and rotated in a rotator. The results are then checked under the microscope. The highest dilution showing flocculation is considered as reactive titer. If the clinical findings are strongly suggestive of syphilis, a quantitative test may be directly performed on the serum specimen. So this is how it works. VDRL test may also be performed on cerebrospinal fluid samples in the diagnosis of neurosyphilis. Syphilis, it is a sexually transmitted disease. Quantitative VDRL is the test of choice on CSF specimens. There are some variations in this test. The antigen is diluted in equal volumes with 10% saline. CSF must not be heated. The volume of antigen solution taken is 0.01 ml. And the rest of the procedure, that's the same. Results: reactive past present infection with a pathogenic Treponema pallidum, which is either treated or untreated, a false positive reaction. Non-reactive, no current infection, an effectively treated infection, but it does not rule out syphilis, which can be in its incubation period. And a weakly reactive one. This is how it looks when it is qualitative one. A fourfold rise in titer, infection, that could be because of infection, reinfection or treatment failure, a fourfold decrease in titer, that is effective therapy. When a non-troponemal test shows a persistent reactivity with no signs of declining titer after 6 months of adequate therapy, or fails to show a fourfold decrease of an initial high titer within 1 year, it is considered as a seroresistance or serofast. Undiluted serum specimens having a high quantity of reagent antibodies occasionally will give a false negative reaction, but on further dilution it becomes positive. Incidence of prozone phenomenon in general population has been observed to be low. It may attain clinical significance in case of certain groups of patients. Patients on continuous immunosuppressive therapy, HIV seropositive patients. Technical false positive reaction also occurs, which is variation in the normal. In some normal individuals, there may be excess production of reagent antibodies. Biological false positive reaction, polyclonal antiphospholipid antibodies produced against lipoidal antigens present in normal tissue and in conditions that destroy cell nuclei responsible for these reactions. And transient acute reaction and chronic reaction, those are the two biological false positive reaction that occurs. The transient acute reaction lasts less than 6 months due to various associated infections, narcotic abuse, immunization procedures and pregnancy. Chronic reaction lasts more than 6 months, can be idiopathic or due to leprosy, old age, autoimmune and other connective tissue disorders or malignancy.